3D People, The Way We Work is a podcast brought to you by Alexander Daniels Global, your recruitment partner in the additive manufacturing industry. My name is Julia Opria, and I'm your host in this podcast. I'm also the Director of Europe at AD Global. We are committed to helping this industry grow, and our contribution to the industry is talent. We talk to high-potential professionals on a daily basis, and with this podcast, we want to bring to you their stories, their challenges, and their approach to unknown territories. We hope you enjoy. In this episode, the spotlight is on my colleagues and the salary survey, which we created for the additive manufacturing industry. My name is Julia Opria, and I'm the host of the podcast at Alexander Daniels Global. I would like to start now with a quick round of introduction before we dive deeper into today's subject.
Hi, I'm Nick Pearce, and I'm the CEO and founder of Alexander Daniels Global.
I am Sine, and I am the marketing manager for Alexander Daniels Global.
I just wanted to mention that right now I'm calling in from Berlin. They're calling in from Birmingham. So tell me, please, Nick, a bit about the story of Alexander Daniels Global and how the salary survey came into existence.
That's quite a long story, but I'll try and keep it brief and keep the listeners interested. I'm a recruiter. I've been a recruiter since I left university many years ago, and I started out recruiting accountants and set my first business up 10 years ago with a business partner recruiting accountants. About 5 years ago, while we were setting up a second recruitment business in the energy sector, I came across a story in the BBC of an individual called Stephen Power, who'd had a motorbike accident. And the story told how they used 3D printing to create molds on which the surgeons could practice. And then they 3D printed cheekbones that they implanted in his face. And I was fascinated by this technology. And alongside, at the time, an intern who was working for us, Juan Miguel, we started researching the additive manufacturing industry. We found out about the challenges the industry faced in terms of speed, repeatability, cost and availability of materials. But all the companies we spoke to talked about a problem around talent, and that if we were going to set up a recruitment company, that they would definitely work with us. So as fun and as exciting as it was recruiting accountants, I decided to set up Alexander Daniels Global 4 years ago with the vision. We believed that additive manufacturing was going to change people's lives. So our mission was to enable this revolution in additive manufacturing through talent. And we've subsequently built that company up now. We have offices in the US, in Germany, in Berlin, here in the UK where I'm based, and also in Barcelona.
Yeah. And how about the salary survey? When did that first start? Because we have more than one edition.
Yeah, so I think we've released 3. The research that we're doing right at this moment is for the 4th edition of the salary survey. In terms of how it came about, when we set the company up, sort of 4 years ago, we were an entrepreneurial business. We read loads of books. We loved the kind of Google model of these 10% projects that would allow, our team to invest 10% of their time into something that they were passionate about, that they believed in, that maybe could add value to the wider business. So at the time, one of the members of our team thought a salary survey would be a great idea because, well, we had a lot of data, a lot of insights. There was nothing out there like this for the industry. Companies were asking us all the time to give them guidance on salaries because the industry was growing and new jobs were being created. Quite often, companies coming into the industry with no experience of the industry, they wanted to know what they should pay an application engineer, a sales manager, a mechanical engineer, and didn't really have any guidance for that. So that was kind of the genesis of the salary survey, and it was a very basic and rudimentary document when we first started. I mean, I think if you compared the report that we released last year with the very first report, you'd see some marked differences in terms of the content and style.
I also wanted to ask you, what's the difference between all these editions? How did it change throughout the years?
Yeah, well, it's changed loads. I mean, a lot of that's thanks to Sine's input. You know, we didn't have someone with her creative genius when we first started out. So it was a very basic Word document with a few graphs and charts thrown in, and they didn't look that great. And the quality of the document was very basic. And actually, the quality of the content was based on, you know, a handful of responses from companies, as well as some responses from talent as well as the kind of limited knowledge that we had. But over the years, we've been able to evolve the content based, well, firstly on the fact that we have far more data available now. You know, we're 4 years in as a business. We've recruited over 100 people. We've probably worked on well over 1,000 different roles. So we've got far more insights on salaries than we had, you know, 4 years ago when we first started. At the same time, you know, the report was very focused on, you know, at the start, the salaries, broken down by region, broken down by discipline. But now what we have is year-on-year data. So now we can do more analysis about how salaries are changing over time. You know, what does the growth of salaries look like, you know, as the industry grows? So I think that that's another key factor. And actually, when I speak to people now and, you know, I listen to them and, you know, they give feedback on the salary survey, it's not always the salary information that they're really interested in. It's the insights that surround the sort of salaries as well, you know, about the marketplace and things like that.
So when a business like someone from business in additive manufacturing is reading this report, how can they make use of it as a business?
So I think let's look at what a company needs to do. They need to hire great people and they need to retain their best talent. And I think the salary survey is invaluable if you want to do both of those things. So, you know, hiring great talent. Well, first of all, you need to know that what you're offering is competitive in the market, because, you know, it is a competitive landscape out there and there are lots of organizations recruiting for talent. And while money is not the biggest motivator towards why somebody would want to join your business, if it's not at the right level, it would certainly be a demotivator for them in wanting to join your company. So I think in that sense, it helps you to position your offering at the right level. Then let's think about your existing talent base. You don't want to be losing people to the competition because you're not paying them enough. And again, it's not going to be a reason why somebody will stay at your organization, but it might be a reason why they become demotivated, where they feel they're not valued at the level that they should be given the market. So I think, you know, understanding what the kind of market is paying is a good way to ensure that your offer to your existing employees is at the right level so that you retain the great people that you've got in your company.
I see. Sine, how can someone get a copy of this report? Maybe the previous editions.
Yeah. So as Nick briefly mentioned, we are right now collecting data for the 2019 salary survey, but you can obtain the 2018 edition on our website completely free. It's a download form. So yeah, we'll be sure to include a link in this podcast so that we make it easier for everybody.
So currently we're still doing the research, and our deadline is the 1st of December, correct? Until we wait for all the information from.
Yes.
Who should fill out this survey until the 1st of December?
Yes. So the survey is based on two different collection of data. One is from the employees within the AM industry, and one is for the employers. So we are trying to collect data from employers about what the salary standards are within their business, and also how many people are, and things like that. And we really want as many companies as possible to participate in this, to give a broader and a more representative number of the market and how it looks like. And as a sort of token of appreciation, we want to offer the 2018 talent market white paper to any companies who fill out the salary survey before the 1st of December.
Okay.
And this talent market white paper is sort of an addition to the salary survey. It's a more in-depth document that talks about the hiring trends, the key in-demand roles, the in-demand skills, and splits it up into different sections. So it's a very in-depth document that focuses more on the trends and the hiring landscape in general, whereas the salary survey is focused on the salaries predominantly, and analysis to that. And normally we charge for the white paper, for the talent market white paper, but we want to give it to companies for free who answer the survey.
Okay, so I think for anyone who's recruiting now in the additive manufacturing industry, having the salary survey and the talent market white paper is quite a good combination. So until the 1st of December, please fill out the survey. It takes just a few minutes, and then you have 2 valuable reports to work on in the coming months. Nick, what do you think is the impact on the industry if a company fills out the survey for this year's edition, for the 4th edition? How can they contribute in their own way?
I think this industry is still growing, and I think that if you don't take part in the salary survey, you're not contributing to, the kind of landscape that we're trying to create for talent. There is a challenge within this industry to attract, engage, and retain talent in what is a very competitive sort of jobs market. And, those companies that fill out the report help us to really present the insights and analysis that support the growth of the workforce as a whole, through ensuring that the salaries and packages offered to people are competitive and are in line with what talent want and need. So I think the impact on the industry as a whole is quite a fundamental one. It's about sort of shaping the landscape, shaping the future workforce that the industry is going to need if it is going to be successful, if it's going to continue to grow and, achieve the potential that I believe additive manufacturing has.
Yeah, thank you. Sine, can you tell us something about the confidentiality of the data that employers will share if they fill out the survey?
Yeah, so the salary survey is completely 100% confidential. We don't share any information with any others. We won't name companies. We don't point out specific salaries, as the data is sort of aggregated data from all the companies who participate. So there's no reason or fear the company should have from filling this out.
Okay, thank you so much. So anyone listening or watching this video, please fill out the survey, whether you're an employer or someone working in the industry. Fill it out, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of the newest edition, the salary survey, the 4th edition. And for any business which fills out the salary survey, we will also reward them with the white paper. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.